Alright guys, Birdman here. We're approaching the end of September, and let me lower my radio, it's only static. And what happened was about a week ago or so, a little young boy by the name of Ahmed decided he was going to build a clock and get himself invited to the White House by Barack Hussein Obama. Now, the boy says, along with his papa, that his clock was scratch built now. If any of you guys, and when I say guys, this includes the ladies, because I do have female subscribers. If any of you guys are familiar with my YouTube page, then you know that I can be funny and foul-mouthed. You know that I like to cook. You know that I mess with radio, electronics. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole war about the definition of a technician, because there are people out there who've never had a formal education on a topic, that are homebrews and taught via internet, and like to take the titles of people who've spent years studying to earn their titles. Now that I got that out of the way, I can carry on. Now, for those of you, and I know there are some of you, who are real technicians and even hold engineering in their backgrounds. Now, in electronics, I know I have 1 or 2 subscribers who truly have an engineering background in electronics. After seeing Mr. Ahmed's clock, there was a lot of conversation. You know, there was a conversation via a lot of people, but the one I'm going to refer to the most is a conversation that I had with a person that I know for sure has an engineering background in electronics. Now, this person was very hesitant to open a dialogue with me, because he and I discussed many things. You know, we make commentary, we joke around. The heck was that? We make commentary, we joke around, we poke fun. We can laugh at ourselves also, though. No big deal. But I asked this particular person, said, "What do you make of the boy's clock when the story first hit the air?" And in his hesitation, I had to come out and describe a scenario that I was envisioning personally. Now, after I had made my commentary, the man says to me, or the woman, because I really don't know, I think it's a man though, I'm going to say the man. The man says to me, +1 via Google Plus, which basically means, because +1 means a lot of things on Google Plus. It means I agree, it means I like, it means okay, blah, 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 blah. And then the dialogue opened up a little bit more, a little better. And we come to find out that was a boo-boo. Good thing it was a boo-boo here, though. It's a good thing that boo-boo happened here, because I could correct that boo-boo now. Yeah, just like that. Good thing, we have people of all kinds of backgrounds, religions, yes, even Muslims, even though I can't stand them, because they still do offer a different point of view. We got different people of different backgrounds with different strongholds in different fields and study. And that's important to us as Americans, because the more diverse our people are in their knowledge, the harder it is for the enemy to get his way. Now, that said, this gentleman says to me, in so many words, this is a clock of yesteryear's commercial technology that was cracked open, taken apart, and the LEDs were just expanded on a computer ribbon cord so he can get the effect he wanted in his chosen project box, which happened to be a metal suitcase. You guys still with me now? So in this conversation, armed with this knowledge of what the person I was discussing the topic with was saying to me, I had to stop, and I had to think to myself and say, okay, if this is the deal, and this is what this person is saying to me, then it's going to be only a matter of time before this young boy gets exposed as a fraud, and that which his father put him up to, because the young boy is innocent to me. It's a little boy. It's a little boy being pimped and pawned by his own father. So that he can get his way. Now, when you do the boy's background and you lead back to his old man, you come to find out that his old man was in the game of politics and that his old man aspired to be the president of a country.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4.
5, 6, 7, 8. In these aspirations, the man failed on his own accord, which is okay, you know. We're human.
3, 4.
As humans, we got trial and error. We got success and failures. That's what makes us humans. What you don't see up front and close and personal right away is how bad of a pawning, because it truly is a bad pawning of a child, this really was, all the way to the White House, all the way to Barry Soetoro. Yeah, the Muslim in chief. Now, not that I wouldn't care if the president was ever a Muslim, because I would care. I would care a lot. I would care a lot because you put a Muslim in the White House and you ask somebody like myself who was alive and well and breathing and active in the recovery efforts of 9/11. We'll be the first to tell you guys, what the hell am I doing? We'll be the first to tell you that there's no way we want a Muslim president. Stand by, guys. I'll be right back. There's no way we want a Muslim president because of the amount of damage that they self-admittedly caused. Now, I know a lot of my subscribers are conspiracy theorists and you think our government killed our own people. I'm not here to debunk your conspiracy theory. I'm here, as Roddy Piper said, to kick ass and chew bubble gum. Now, in this wonderfulness, now let's go back to the topic there. The topic is Muslim president. If the day ever came in my lifetime and we had a true Muslim president, I'm talking 100% confirmed Muslim president, and he was put in office by we the people, then there's nothing we could do or say other than closely monitor the situation and truly as a people use our power of impeachment to remove a threat or somebody who's not for the American people. Now some of you are saying, yo, some of you might be thinking, Birdman, are you trying to say Barack Hussein Obama is not a Muslim? No, that's not what I'm saying. But he's not 100%. A guy who walks into a bar and has beers and eats pork is not a devout Muslim. Okay? I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I know what devout Muslims look like. I know how they act, and as far as their eating habits are concerned. Okay? I know, like during Ramadan, completely fast and prayer. Fast and prayer. As a matter of fact, they used to separate them from the regular students during lunchtime, during Ramadan, so that they wouldn't be tempted to eat. You understand? So, when I say the man is not 100% Muslim, I'm basing it on some things that I've grown up witnessing. Now, back to the whole Muslim thing. If the day came that we had a Muslim president, true Muslim president, and he was voted in the right way, then we got on to say, guys, if that happens, we got on to say, because it'll be our own brothers, sisters, wives who put him in. Because you all know, and don't act like you're all fucking holy, because you're not. Each and every one of you knows that you got liberals in your family. And people who are looking to do harm to you also know that. So, you gotta start at home first. As a matter of fact, all of us do. All of us do. Now, back to the boy with the clock. I'm looking for I'm looking to show you guys something in my little video here. You guys see me soldering. I haven't soldered electronics in about 8 months. I do a lot of soldering when I have the time. But I haven't had the time in about 8 months. I've been very busy. I've undertaken a massive project at work that's got me tied up all week. Double shifts. Though the money may be nice, Uncle Sam destroys me in taxes. I'm destroying myself physically, mentally also. And it's taking a toll on my married life. You know, I got married less than a year ago, as of the making of this video. And, you know, she's a woman. And, she needs what she needs. Anyway, all you women are the same. Money's a great comforter. Laugh out loud. Because of work and whatnot, I haven't been able to solder. I haven't been able to tinker. My electronics background stems back to when I was a child. When I was a child in the 80s is when my electronics career began. It began when I broke open my first radio to see how the little people inside fit in there. Okay? And that's where it ended. I do not do electronics for a living. I'm not a technician. I'm not an engineer of electronics or anything of the sort. But I got a great mentor in electronics. A self-employed radio repairman who teaches me a thing or two. And I'm lucky because I've said this in the past, old school guys, they don't like to teach their trade. It's that old school mentality that they'll be out of work. And I'm lucky another way because I got a subscriber who understands electronics very well and has been mentoring me for a couple of years now. And though I think I'm getting better, who am I to judge myself? They gotta judge me. Alright guys, so I'm not looking for an invitation to the White House. I don't care to have one, and if it came I would ignore it. And I would not go. Those are a little thicker. I need a real dike. And I don't know where the hell it is right now. Alright guys, I'm going to show you some. I want to show you my homemade thing. As you saw, I just soldered the whole thing in front of you. Alright? Don't get scared now. You know? Don't go getting all teary-eyed and scared. That is a clock. That is a clock of modern proportions. The last thing I'm looking to do okay, that goes right there. Hold on guys, this is a little tricky. I got big fingers. These are small components, and if I bend the legs and don't get it in properly, it's not going to be a good thing.
we got TV and a radio.
All right,
1, 2,
we're in.
2. Okay, there you go.
There you go. Your chip is mounted, the capacitors are in, your buttons are in. That's a clock. That's a clock right there. Okay? Yes, did I build it myself? Yes, you just saw me build it. You just saw me solder every piece. Just now. You didn't see me put it on the board, but this is what it looks like. Because I have two of them. I'm going to put this one to the side. Here's the board. Unpopulated. Okay? Here is the LED. Here are the rest of the components. 2 resistors, a capacitor bank, a transistor. Here's the chip. Here's the chip's seat. The reason why they do this is so that you don't overheat the chip and burn the crap out of it. There's your power prongs. Here's the speaker. Makes the beeping noises. There's your crystal. 12 megahertz. Here are the 2 switches. Okay. And those 4 things you see right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, are capacitors. That's an electrolytic and these are ceramic. Okay? Once put all together, this is what it forms. From this clock, oh, no, one more thing. It's a schematic. Okay, component layout schematic. Now, obviously I built it, but I didn't engineer this. This is pre-engineered. Okay, I just took a bunch of pieces and built an electronic puzzle is what happened. The hardest part about this puzzle is putting all the pieces together, making sure you don't lose any, just like a normal paper puzzle, and then soldering it together. Okay, now, though I can claim it as my own, I didn't engineer this. I didn't print the boards. I didn't buy the capacitors separately. You know, I think my clock looks a lot better than the boys, though. You know, voltage will come in right here where the 2 screws are. The power source will come in, and then you would program the clock. This looks pretty harmless, where the boy Ahmed's looks very harmful. Here's the deal. The news has gotten a grasp on the clock he took apart for his little project. It seems to be an old school Radio Shack clock. If breaking a clock and putting it in a little suitcase is worthy of being invited to the White House, then George Bush Sr. should have invited me, because he was the president when I was a little boy. And if my father was alive, he would be able to attest on how many radios he's walked in and found splattered all over the floor in the basement of our house in Bay Ridge. If my mother was in the country and standing behind me, she'd be able to attest to the same thing. I've taken apart thousands of dollars in radios, and those thousands of dollars in radios ended up in the garbage, just like Ahmed's little project will. That being said, I just don't want I don't want you guys to let this one go so easily. You know, I think when a child takes apart something, there's something to be said for that. But getting an invitation to the White House and your father not teaching you, that your invitation was gained illfully, that father is a failure. That father is a failure. And that child will grow up to be a failure because of ill parenting. If the boy ever watches my video, because I know there's many videos who've come out and made a lot of clock videos now. But if the boy Ahmed ever gets to this video, I want him to know that your father failed you, kid. You could go look him in the eye and tell him that. And there's not nothing he could say about it. You might catch a slap. You might catch a beating. You won't get burned because you're a male. If you were a female, you would get burned. But because you're a male, your father won't light you on fire. You go tell him that he's a failure as a father. He's a failure as a father for not teaching you the right things in life, and for teaching you how to lie, deceive, and cheat. Because I too could build a clock. And my clock does everything your clock does. But mine does it in a neater, smaller package. We're not going to get into pressure temperature switches. We're not going to get into enthalpy switches. We're not going to get into other things on this video. But it doesn't mean that I don't know about them. It doesn't mean that you can't put a solenoid into a transmitter receiver, and turn on your fire hose in the backyard. You understand? Your daddy failed you, kid. You can tell him Birdman said that. The Birdman says good morning. Bye, 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 bye.